Kia ora, everyone. This is Rua speaking. First time I've done live from YouTube, so I've got to get used to it. I'm going to play some music um, and check. If anyone wants to join me, can join me. It's all good. So, yes, I'll talk about the book, Pulses. It took me probably a good good 6 months to write the book. It's over 230 pages, but it's a book of about my walks of life, and a lot of discussion, especially with my journeys that I've been through, witnessed, and experienced, and gathered together. And it was all about my spiritual journey, my spiritual voyage, and so it has 12 chapters, and it's really good. It's with the help of getting channeling from ancestors to fulfill my work, and it all really starts with my awakening when I was age 17, and then eventually into my calling, and also with a few stumbles, and I meant stumbles of denial of the truth of my journey, and through the different walks of my relationships to um, beginning the begun of new life. So three different lives in one walks. To this time that it's about time that I share the information and knowledge that's been gifted to me, handed down to me through generations, by high caliber of leadership in our culture, in our Maori culture, and not just that, just with my higher self and myself um, coming into one and walking through my ascension, understanding the full meaning of what the ascension meant. Um, and that was about, so when I talk about the awakening, it was just to be woken up into, as they say, learn to listen, listen to learn, so you can see to see. So that was the journey that couldn't be denied. And so, fought against it all in disbelief, because not very much people were in the same limelight or same pathway as I was. But prior to all that, had some very humble, humble elders, greats and grandfathers and grandmothers that were healers themselves, and not just healers, but seers, um, mediums, clears, all those kind of things. And so I was very honored. Didn't realize at that time, but you realize years later, to have these kind of people in my space. And then the journey of one of the chapters talks about the circle of my orators, about oratory, speech making, and yeah, it's been wonderful, wonderful. Because why I say wonderful now, it's because the last one of that pie, and we call it a pie tawa nui, a tāne, um, to be able to see the last one of my circle pass on or cross over to the light. And he was in his 94th year. And so I had to go back, and I had to go right back to the first time I stood on my tribal marae with the greats that mandated the pie. And that went back to 1993. And yet, my very, very first time doing a whaik audit or being on the pie with a tangianga can date back to 1989, 1990. So from there to here to now, it's practically near 30 years of experience. And then you talk about other journeys that showed a lot of downloading of gifts and downloading of energies and understanding the energetic fields with the universal libraries that are privileged to those that have done full circle to be part of their higher self, or bring their higher self and soul into one. And just the walks of today, um, doing medicine for the elderly, for the sick, and a lot of other things. And so off the screen, I didn't share this one, but it will come into the next few books about preserving um, corpse, or tūpāpaku, as we say, in the most humane way, besides having chemicals, embalming practices put into your liquids, and then due to decay, you end up poisoning the rivers and outlets. So yeah, so there's a good tune about that amongst the people of New Zealand. So besides that, pulses is what it is. It was something I had to think about for the journey, and so bringing back the pulses of my homelands was all about that. All the old energies that went with the old people, and their clear understanding of what it was to be alive, and their tohunga practices. And so I live in Tūwhenua I live in Kaitara, and this area was a very staunch practices of makutu and matuku, witchcraft, curses, all those rituals that are Māori. And they were known as Ngā Tohunga or Tūwhenua, and they were also known as Tohunga Matakuakua, Tohunga Matakehukehu, and Tohunga Mataho, alongside with Uenuku and Uerangi practices. So yeah, so I'm glad to be home. This is my homeland, and so it's not just about here; it's about my other links to other tribes within Tairāwhiti and going across to Mātātua. Yeah, so it's about, the book is really about helping the young, or helping those that have just awakened, or helping those that have found their calling. That it's not an easy road. It isn't an easy road. Those that are giving you confidence and saying that it is, they're just giving you strength to be prepared for what's not prepared, if you understand me. So yeah, so I thought there's about time that we start sharing information and sharing the knowledge across to those that may need it as a rongoa, or as a medicine to help them through their walks, because you're going to go through a lot of storms. At first, when you awake, you probably feel that you're in hell because you actually don't know what's happening to you. You may not have people around you to give you the guidance. And so this is just showing part of my journey, or how I identified, or how I got through it. And so my beginnings wasn't a good beginnings of going through awakening. It was quite frightening. Only a couple of people in my spaces at that time that I realized that understood me, but didn't say very much, except just gave me confidence. As like I said, they gave me confidence for the times when I do fall down rock bottom, and the times that I do celebrate on high. Yeah, and so through that journey, there was a lot of stuff that came through, and a lot of gifts that were developed and downloaded to me, and I had to discover on my own. I was very fortunate to have a religion to support me in their ways, because in our religion, and I'll say that our religion, Ringatu faith, held a lot of those greats that were gifted people for healing the sick and for foreseeing the future. And so our faith comes from a seer, a prophet who saw the future, and so therefore the practices were very strong in those days. And nowadays, it's totally changed, but not changed to enough to make this kind of stuff a topic of discussion. And so, yeah, so I'm quite glad that I had that support. Now, when I talk about religion, it's probably different to every other people's dealings or experiences with religion that don't accept this kind of stuff. And yet our Ringatu faith does. Our prophet said to us, and I remember this when I was very young, that an old tohunga said to us, that our prophet says, before you walk into the new world, you put the Bible in your right hand and your culture in your left hand. Bring both hands side by side. And remember, the warning is that when you walk in there, don't let one hand lead the other. So don't let the Bible lead the culture, and don't let the culture lead the Bible. And so when you put your both hands together, it's like it forms a cup. And so when you fill the cup up, that's supposed to be knowledge. They're supposed to be your language. They're supposed to be your indigenous roots, your links, your energies, because water does give you energy in the physical sense. And so that's called life. And so keep it together like a cup, and you will survive in the new world. Now that the new world has passed over, and we're in Te Ao Marama, the understanding world, with the next 3 lot of generations that have come through with different ideas and different ways of growing up because of technology. It's yes, it is the period and the phase to go through understanding. And so when we look back in the awakening, the world was given 2012 to 2019, the 7-year perfect years to actually develop quick. And when they say develop, remove all your burdens and remove all the negativity and denials out of you. You've got that period to do so, because when 2020 comes, you're supposed to be a full quid and ready, get out there and do what you need to do with the love and light, the powers of love and light. And so that's all in that book. It's just through my own experiences how I survived it. And so when I say storms, you are going to get storms. When I say good rides, you're going to get good rides. Because it's about you understanding who you are, and not necessarily everyone around your space is going to link in with you. And so you're going to get that side of pattern, that side of approaches too. And so moving from there, and then last year walking into my ascension, and finally, just to say, blessed be that I've finally come out of my ascension and gone into another phase. And that's another phase to work with all 3. So when I say all 3, it's so my higher self was with my awakening. And so now I've come full circle with my higher self. And so now I'm with my higher self's with me. So that means my soul is with me. And so that's the next phase, is working together and understanding the growth and new experiences that are going to come. And so I thought I'd share this book to everyone. It's taken a long time. It's been written with love, written with guidance, with my guides and my ancestors, and my loved ones that passed over, and also with my angels, archangels, and one of my special guides that has always been with me, but I didn't notice him until before Christmas, and that was Melchizedek. So I didn't know him. I had seen him in my time when I was little, but I didn't recognize who he was. And now I've realized who he was because I have walked in with my higher self, and it's allowed him to see me and for me to see him. So I'm so thankful for that honor to be able to see him when he needs me and when I call for him. And when I was young, I used to work with Archangel Gabriel and Michael. And then later on, it was Uriel and Raphael. So not just them, my ancestral side, going back on my the gods and goddesses on my cultural side, they were also there for me. And so star seeds, galactic people that I had walked alongside with and became. I was also part of I'm also part of Starseed, so I'm thankful to be part of that. Seer, shaman, but just like to be called Crazy Rua. And so these are a lot of books. So the second book, Pulses 2, is about the 10 pulses of the anatomy gifts, and that's very brief. It's also like a notebook, a small short book, just to put in your pocket to help you. The third book is going to be looking at how to link all three together, how to understand it through you, not through other people's view, but through your own view. And so that's going to be another testimonial voyage to put together. The other one too is about the fourth one, sorry, is about the coven of Weherua, and so that's my coven. And when I say my coven, because we need a present coven, we don't need a past coven, because the covens have all aligned each other to be able for us to create for the next generations to come forth into. And so it's about having a space, an energy field on earth to be able to gather our people. So keep your eyes on Kindle Publishing and Amazon to look for my books. What it is about sharing, and about hopefully that some part in those books will help you dearly in your walks, and whatever level you are at. And so from here, Crazy Rua, it's Weherua, my name, but because I named my higher self Crazy Rua, and so I'm happy to be Crazy Rua. And so I would like to end this to say, kia ora and good health to you and yours.